So that was the kids. Okay. What if now I'm a teenager? I'm a young person. Okay. I honor my parents by accepting them for who they are. Okay. Even though they seem to be the dumbest person on the face of the earth right now, and appreciating them for who they are. You know, the older you get, you start to see. You know, as a kid, my dad was my hero. Okay? And then as I began to grow up, I said, my dad's messed up. Okay? And I began to see all his faults. And now my kids are doing the same thing with me. Okay? You start to see the faults of your parents. Listen, it's really, really important at this time when you begin to see that your parents are not perfect and that they do have faults. It's important for you to accept them in spite of all their flaws. In spite of all their weaknesses. Amen? And you're sitting there, why should I do that? First of all, you're stuck with them. Amen? You can pick your friends, and you can pick your nose, but you can't pick out who birthed you. Amen? You're stuck with them. You're stuck with each other. Second of all, you got faults too. Come on.
Amen.
Amen? Wait till you have kids, and they're going to point out all your faults. Okay? Now, accepting them doesn't mean pretending that they're perfect and overlooking their faults. It doesn't mean ignoring their mistakes when they make them. It doesn't mean agreeing with everything they do and everything they say. Acceptance is appreciating that out of everybody in the whole earth, God used those two particular people, okay, to bring you into the world, realizing that whether they had stellar parenting skills or they really stunk at it, okay? Makes no difference. Realizing that they gave you something that nobody else in the whole wide world could give you. They gave you the gift of life. Can I have an amen?
Amen.
Okay? Proverbs 19:26 in the Living Bible says, a son who mistreats his father or mother is a public disgrace. Another way we can accept our parents is by listening. Just listen. Listen to what my parents have to say. Okay? And don't despise their advice, whether they're saved or they're not saved. Are you listening to me? Okay? I remember Jethro, amen, when he seen Moses. Now, Jethro was Moses' father-in-law. Okay? And you go into the Old Testament, he's watching Moses spend all day and all night sitting and the people of Israel come around and he would judge between them. And Jethro, being a man who worshiped false gods, comes and said, Moses, man, what are you doing? That is insane, dude. Why don't you get some people who can help take care of some of the smaller stuff and do what? Delegate, okay? Because what you're doing is just crazy. Man, you're going to kill yourself doing that. Listen, most kids say, you're a heathen worshiper. You worship false gods. I'm not going to listen to anything you say. Amen. But he did what? He honored him by listening to him. And what he had to say was good. So we listen to what our parents have to say. I'm not saying that you have to agree, okay? But I'm saying you don't automatically, when they come up and start wanting to speak something to you, you automatically despise their advice before you even hear it. Listen to them. Hear them out. Even when you reach an age that you're no longer bound to do what they have to say. Still listen. And you can disagree without being disagreeable. You can disagree and still have the love thing going, okay? You can do that. What's another way that I can accept my parents? By forgiving them. I can forgive them. Forgive my parents for the times when they may have come up short. Forgive my parents for the times when they may have hurt me. Okay? Knowing that it's just a fact of life that we a lot of times hurt the people that we love the most. Isn't that true? We know what buttons to push on each other. We know which button is the launch button. And we go for it every time, don't we? Come on. Come on, you guys leave me up here and preach all by myself. Okay? But intentionally and unintentionally, we just do it. Amen. Proverbs 20:20 says, if you curse your parents, Your life will end like a lamp that goes out in the dark. You know, today, I know it's not popular to honor your parents, okay? It's not popular. It's not as popular as it is to go to your psychotherapist and lay on the couch and blame everything on them, okay? But bitterness is self-destructive. Bitterness will destroy you and hurt you way before it ever hurts that other person. Way before. And regardless of who your parents are, and I know I'm sitting in here and people are going to be watching this later, okay? We're talking from parents on a wide range on the spectrum here, okay? It doesn't matter what they did. It doesn't matter what they didn't do. You can at least appreciate the effort that they made or some of the sacrifices that they made. Can I tell you something I found out? Parenting is hard, man. It is hard. And for those of you women in here, it's really hard, okay? That is some tough stuff to do. It's difficult. It's time demanding. It's an energy draining job. Now I know why some of you look like you're just dragging dead, because you are. Amen. Have you ever considered, young people, have you ever considered how much easier it would have been in your parents' life had they chosen not to ever have had you?
Amen.
Some things, yes.
You guys that are bald would still have hair. You guys that are gray, you would still have your hair color back. You ladies wouldn't have to dye your hair had you not had kids. Amen. You would have money right now. Amen. Because raising kids is expensive. Do you know somebody come up with this thing that from birth until 18, it costs $250,000 to raise a kid? I'm thinking about that. Brenda said, "Where's our nest egg?" I said, "Right there they are, sitting at the table." Amen. Amen. We got $750,000 sitting right there. Amen. I posted on my Facebook page. I said, I know I got the next time we have our family portrait, I said, and we set up for the pose. So I'm going to ask the photographer, amen, just to let all my kids stick their hands in my pocket, amen, and take the picture, because that's a more natural pose for them, because they're all the time doing that anyway, okay? There are 4 stages in a man's life. Stage number 1, he believes in Santa Claus. Stage number 2, he doesn't believe in Santa Claus. Stage number 3, he is Santa Claus. Stage number 4, he looks like Santa Claus. Okay? So we need to appreciate all 4 stages. Okay, Proverbs 23:22. The last part of that verse says that when your mother is old, show her your appreciation. Can I have an amen? Another way that I can accept my parents and appreciate them is that as an adult, I honor my parents by affirming them and not abandoning them. You know, I do a lot of hospital calls, guys. I go into the nursing homes and visit. You know, I've been by deathbeds where people are surrounded by their families and loving on them. And I've been with people who died alone, with nobody. For many parents, the older they get, the less respect they get. All of their affirming friends, you know, that was one of my grandma's things. When I talked to her the week before she died, she says, all my friends that encouraged me, all my friends that I prayed with, they're all gone. They're all, and she says, she goes, I love you kids, but she goes, I can't relate to you. You can't relate to me. You know, all their affirming friends start dying off. And they're no longer wanted in the marketplace for their skills. They're put up on the shelf, and they're saying, oh, you just sit there. We got it. We got it covered, okay? They're no longer wanted for their wisdom, the things that they've learned in life. And they want to try to share with us so we don't have to go through the pain that they went through, and yet we don't want to listen. In some cases, their children grow up and they get busy with their own families. They get busy with their own lives. And these folks stay at home and they lead a very lonely life, a very lonely existence. Listen, your parents, and some of you guys already been through this. Some of you have yet to go through this. All right? Your parents